I didn't make a video. I'm gonna show everybody how I try to fine tune my entry points. First off, disclosure. This is my disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only. You know, just make sure everybody knows I'm not a financial advisor. So, I'm just offering free education and showing you what I'm doing. If you choose to do the same, that's on you. It's your money, it's your time. You do you. I'm not guaranteeing any kind of results with this, but okay. Number one, it helps to know who to follow, right? It's no front page news. Ruin's been doing pretty good here lately. You can go to thebanterbubbles.com if you want to. Pretty obvious. You can look for who's doing the best on the hourly, the daily. What's hot for the day, the week. Tons doing good. Cass, AKT's doing good. Ruin's doing good. Render, Arweave, Near's starting to perk up. This Cheel, I never heard of this Cheel. I don't know if it's a new one or what, but it's definitely doing decent today. But Injective doing good. IMX perking up. Phantom, Sui, this Leo. I never heard of Leo, but Arweave's definitely cooking. So that's what I do. And then, I've got my favorites on YouTube. Everybody knows, I'm a pretty big fan of CryptoBanter.com. Whatever. They got two channels. The first one, Rand's good for fundamentals. Sheldon's good for charts. Dylan's good for charts. This guy, I forget his name. He's good for memes. I need to watch some of his meme stuff. And then, of course, I watch Gareth, First Thing for Stocks. He does stocks, crypto. I like his early morning show, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time before the market opens. He's doing a closing show also, right 5 minutes before the market closes, I think. Or maybe 15, 20 minutes before the market closes. He does some, kind of like a banter Friday kind of thing. Sometimes he did it on Thursday actually on this one, but looks like almost 24 hours ago. But that's what I look at. If I'm gonna get my news, that's who I try to go. If you want to go gaming on crypto gaming, I use Hustle in the game. I think he's good. Alex Becker, he's funny at least. I know he's pretty influential. He's got a huge following. He's got a lot of subscribers. He's got 1.4 million subscribers. So the guy can move markets. All he's got to do is mention a coin on a website or his Twitter, and it's going to blow up. So that's pretty much who I follow. But I watch Crypto Banter guys pretty much every day. I try to stay cut in on what's moving, what's hot, what's decent to buy, at least fundamentally sound, what has a decent, at least product or following. So obviously Ruin's been doing pretty decent. You can scan for it however you want. It's above your 9 simple moving average, which is good. It's bottomed out pretty much May 1st, so pretty much straight up since then. So I'm trying to bid in on this day 3 pullback. You can see today's a down day, down about 4.5%, but you're still in your uptrend, massively uptrend here. You can draw a trend line on this to here and tell exactly, as long as you're above this trend line right here, you're in the bull zone. Now you need to get above this weekly uptrend line also. We broke below that. Now we're trying to get back above it. We broke below it right here on April 11th, looks like, and we've yet to close above that as of yet. I probably will, I'm guessing, this weekend. It may go sideways, who knows, but coming off a 3 bar You could Heikin-Nashi this, and you're actually on an 8. Let me double check that on Symbolic. USDT. I use Binance a lot. Weekly, you're on a +1. Daily, yeah, you're on a 3. So that's reset. You're above the wheel stop. You're above your Ichimoku lines. Now you need to get above this Ichimoku cloud. Ideally, you really need to get above 7.88 and close above this on a daily basis as soon as possible. If you come up here and bump your head and go back down, that's a bearish sign. Weekly, this thing went to a 10 on the continuation sequential, pulled back 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 weeks, went sideways. It's technically a bear flag still, so really you need to get back above and make a new high sometime in the near future, but to make you feel all warm and fuzzy. But so if I'm looking for how to get in this, if you think it's going to go up tomorrow or this weekend and you want to get in it today, I went off my previous high over here. I know this is kind of messy. I should probably clean it up, but my previous high over here, I found that on a daily chart, and I just dropped in a trend line right here, use a horizontal ray, and put my magnet on. Put your magnet on right here, put it on strong magnet, and just drop it in right there on the top of that previous high, and that's a decent buy point zone. So it's 5.98. I rounded up to the 5.985. So I've got a standing bid sitting right here. I should have had it in already this morning. I don't know. I think I was bidding right in here around this 570, hoping it would pull back, to the closing price of this candle. Hasn't done it yet, but it might. We could drop another trend line in, I guess, right there, just for a reference point. Yeah, around that 5.69, 5.6888, something in there. But so if you think it looks good on a daily, then I drop it down to a 4-hour for my fine tune entry, and you can even go to a 1 hour if you want to. But I use this Ichimoku right here. Make sure you got that on if you have access to it. I don't really use the trend lines a lot, the moving averages for entry and exit. I use the Ichimoku for my entry and exit. Okay, that's pretty much a moving average anyway. This is probably your 9, and this is probably more like a 26 moving average. But for some reason, maybe it's a Fibonacci kind of thing or whatever it is. Actually, it does match up a lot with Fibonacci theory. I'll actually use this along with Fibonacci, my Fibonacci retracement, to try to confirm where I want to put my bids in. So I'll go here and throw my Fibonacci on this previous move right here. I go to the 1 bar, go up to the high, and a lot of times your base or your conversion line, I think this is your baseline. They call this a baseline on Ichimoku. A lot of times it's going to line up with a 618 or a 0.5 Fibonacci. So right now it's right in the middle of the two. So like I said, I put a bid right here at 5.985, and then I put another one. You can use your drop down, highlight that candlestick, and right here, this red part right here, that your white, that's your conversion line. This is your baseline, that's that red line. So it's exactly at 5.83. So I rounded up 5.835. That's my second bid that I'm trying to get in at that price. And if we go down, for, I don't think we're going to go down 36 hours, but we could easily go down maybe another 8 hours, 8 or 9 hours. I think you get a 4-bar pullback on this thing on a 4-hour chart. Probably touches here. Might even get the 618. You could get this 5.78. If you want to throw in a bid. And I mean, there again, not financial advice, but this is what I do. This is how I get my levels to guesstimate, where the price action might bounce off of. Now, if you have symbolic, you can come over here and throw it on a 4-hour chart. And, there again, I got my Ichimoku set up, so I know it's right at 5.896. That's a Binance chart. Looks like you got another support zone down here at 5, round up to 550. So you could get that, theoretically. I mean, it had a pretty strong run. It went pretty much to a 14-15 on your sequential, buy countdown, or it's a sell setup, actually, is what they call it, but sell setup. So, I mean, you get a 9 or a 13. This went on to a 14 to make the high. Technically 15 before it broke down, but so now you're on a buy setup where it's coming down, and it may even test the top of the Ichimoku. It could go to 531, 532. Here's another support zone down here at 529, pretty much. We'll round up. So, like I say, it's like trying to hit a moving target. If you've ever done any skeet shooting or shooting clay pigeons or bird, dove hunting or quail hunting, it's the same thing. You're trying to hit a moving target as it's moving, and it's constantly moving. It never stops 24/7 with crypto, so you don't get a rest period. You don't get weekends off. You're trying to guesstimate where this thing's going to bottom out. And, if you've ever been to a casino, played blackjack, this number count on sequential is like counting cards at blackjack. You're trying to improve your odds of success at a certain specific time frame that will allow you to try to guesstimate, when the price action might reverse to the upside or to the downside. So that's pretty much what I'm doing with TD sequential. You wait for the 9 or the 13. If you can get them together, close proximity, that's relatively close here, especially on a 4-hour chart. That works pretty good. Daily, weekly, it works even better. Now hourly, I've seen hourly. It's I don't know, maybe 60% of the time it's pretty accurate, but it worked. It respected the 9 on this one. On run, it started back up on a daily chart. Daily they're pretty solid usually. Now, you're gonna need a decent, stock or coin or whatever you're investing in to have, participation from the big money. But that's why I love Williams Money Flow. It tells me, and the Williams value also tells me it was oversold right here on a weekly basis back in January. You had money flow near the top. The buy zone also was a bottom, pretty much. Took off. I mean, rallied, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. Pretty strong. Probably made at least 100, 200% on your money. It went from 5 to over 10. Yeah, so you made over 100%. Hit a high of 1146. So, that's how I do it. It's not perfect, but until I learn a better, strategy, this is all I have to go off of. This is one thing that I found that works for me. Like I said, it's not perfect, and you're not going to time it exactly to the decimal place every single time. It may go lower. With crypto, I've heard it said a lot of times you can bid the 618 to the 786, this golden pocket. I even bid the 702 a lot of times, just because it's right in the middle of those two. And I've seen it a lot of times. It'll come down here, and especially if you got a support zone anywhere. And I know, with all this going, it looks like, it's a little messy. It's a little chop. It looks like a kindergartner or a pre-kindergartner got a hold of a box of crayons and just put about 9 of them together with the lids off, or the markers with the lids off of them, and start scribbling. But everything has a meaning. My color code, Elder, Impulse, that's what turns my candlesticks red, yellow, green. So even that is giving me a signal that, hey, this thing's cooling off. It's going to pull back for a little bit. It's going to go down for a little bit. And that's what it did. It turned yellow right here, and I did here, went up higher. It'll give you false signals sometimes, but I know if you've already hit the 9, first time you get a yellow, that's a cautionary red flag. I mean, it's a yellow flag, but it's saying, hey, we're getting close to a top. And sure enough, we were. You can look at your momentum. I'm sure stochastic was way above here. It was in the 90s, at least above, anything above 90, 95. If you're a short-term swing trader, that's a decent time to take profit. But, now swing trading, you probably want to be at least on a daily, weekly chart. If you're a day trader, you're on your 4-hour, 1 hour, 15-minute, all this shorter time frame stuff. It's pretty hard to beat them. The market makers, the algorithms, the supercomputers, they can trade millions of shares and coins in a nanosecond. They can shake you out. They can manipulate your emotions with fear and greed really quickly, and it's just going to be really hard to beat them on a short-term basis. You've got to have a really solid system in place with strict mechanical rules that tell you when to buy, when to sell, and I've got that. I've tested it. I back tested it. I did 100 trades, real time, real money. I beat them 61% of the time. I made money 61%, and that was during the bear market. That was before, middle of September of 23 was, for the most part, when nearly everything bottomed out. Even Bitcoin, Solana. You can pull up a chart on it, back here. I know that's messy, but over here's your lowest low point, November. Technically November 22, but recent point, anywhere in here. If you were buying anywhere in September, October of 2023, you timed this little pullback pretty good. Not perfect, but I mean, there's nothing that I know of out there on the market is perfect. So, in my opinion, if you can do the best you can with what you got, make the best decision at the time with what the chart's telling you and the information you have, that's about the best most traders and investors can do. In my opinion, I think we still need to close above on Bitcoin this weekly downtrend line before we're, back off to the races, all in, go time, deploy, sell a kidney, whatever you got to do to, get rich in this game. But we're not quite there yet. And we can still come down another 4 weeks, from right now. I mean, it's May 10th right now. Now, speculation has it that, we could bounce somewhere around the 15th to the 20th of this month, May, but we might not. Like I say, we could come down another month after this week. We could be looking around June 10th before we see, a decent bounce. And we really don't have very many catalysts left unless the Ethereum ETF gets approved. That might launch us into another bull run, but I'm watching what the big money's doing with the futures market. And today being Friday, they're gonna release another report Friday at I believe it's 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. You want to watch a weekly chart. If you have access to symbolic.com, you go to Williams Commercial Index, and as long as this is below 74, you don't have massive commercial money buying at an aggressive pace to set. That's a weekly setup. You don't have it. So that's another tool that I have that most people don't, is the ability to see what the smart money's doing at a click of a few buttons, and the money flow is accumulating slowly. They are slowly accumulating. It is oversold. That's versus the price of gold. So just keep that in mind. And but here again on Bitcoin futures, you're looking you could come down another 4 weeks. Also, at least 3 anyway. So, we could test that 57,000 at some point. Is what I'm seeing before we see a massive, rally. But we need to break this downtrend. It looks like a bull flag, but it could still go sideways for another 3 or 4 weeks. Your daily, that's a 4-hour. Let me go to daily. You are above the wheel stop right now. You're in the middle of the cloud, which is not great. Your trailing line's above the cloud. That's bullish. Ideally, you want your price action to be above this cloud system right here. So if you don't have that, it's still saying, you're about a 50-50 shot. It's like flipping a coin, whether it's going to go up or down. So not great odds right now for going all in. I don't think you could dip a toe. You could dollar cost average over the next 3 or 4 weeks. I don't think that's a bad idea. But again, not financial advice, but that's what I do. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get better at it. Not going all in on one price. At least divide your buy-in prices, maybe 4 to 5 times. That way, if you got a $5,000 amount you're going to put in Bitcoin, just divide that by 5 orders, and place your orders accordingly on a Fibonacci or use Ichimoku. You could throw in this 61,468. You could throw in the bottom of the cloud, 58,328. You could throw in the support, 52,830. I don't know. Where would I throw the other one? I'd throw in another one, 44,610. Let's hope it doesn't crack 50,000. But if it cracks 50,000, we're going to be in trouble. But I don't think it's going to do that. But you never know. Just whatever they want it to do, that's what it'll do. Whatever the big money wants it to do. But so that's pretty much how I'm doing, how I get in my positions. TNX, inverted TNX signal, stocks and crypto. Okay, that's good. Garrett's been talking about this. I guess that's inverted. I'm not sure about that. Let me see. Is that inverted? Regular. It's not inverted, I don't think. And inverted scale is not check mark, so it's not inverted. That's your 10-year Treasury note yield. Your yield. So as long as this is going down, Gareth says you'd want to be betting on TLT. That's betting that bonds are going up for the most part. Get rid of that. If you want to play the bond market, it looks pretty decent. It's definitely on an uptrend. Kind of a bull flag right here. Looks like here's your flagpole. Here's your flag starting out. It could go sideways for 4 or 5 more days probably, but ideally, you want to break this higher high at some point. If we could get that, that's a confirmation signal that we're going higher. That's an easy trade for me. That's the easiest trade I think there is wait for a breakout on a higher high and then just throw in your price right here at this exact high. It'll break above it, and then 99% of the time it's going to come back and retest it. almost the very next day probably. It works a high percentage of the time. It's one of the easiest trades to guesstimate the price, where the price is going to go. For an entry buy point, that's the easiest trade right there that I know of. But it's just buying a breakout is what you're doing. That's what they call it. Ideally, you want it on high volume too. You know, when you break above it, you want a big green candle like this one right here. You know, ideally higher than your previous volume coming down. But so that's about all I got. Also, got my new website up and running. I can go to cryptocrazycowboy.com. Right there, got it up and running. Accept the cookies. If you want to read all this, go through. You know, got previous trades in there. Got everything. This is my strategy. If you're interested, 90% off for a limited time. I believe that this sale is going to end of May. So you want to take advantage of that. You know, it's money well spent. Like I say, most educators or mentors are charging $5,000. I priced it where most people can afford it at $500. So if you want some education, you know, check it out. Also got free videos here, free education. This is my YouTube videos also. It's part of my trading school, and I've got them all set up, you know, in an order that I thought made the best sense. You can watch them in any order you want to, but you know, I'm not restricting anybody on. This is part of my trading school, part of my educational course that I'm offering free, you know, to everybody. So if nothing else, learn from my mistakes. It'll save you a fortune. If you can just learn from somebody that's been through the trenches, you know, for 10, 12 years, 15 years almost. But I think this will save you a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of headaches, a lot of sleepless nights, ulcers, divorces. What I mean, it's, you know, just eliminating your stress is a big part of this. And from what I've learned, the reason we have a lot of our stress is when you don't know what you don't know, you're afraid of the future, you're afraid of making a mistake, you're afraid of buying or selling at the wrong time, and that just creates more stress that doesn't really need to be part of the system. Now, then, you know, trading's not for everybody, investing's not for everybody. So like Warren Buffett said, if you can't sleep at night with your current position or portfolio that you have, you might as well just sell it and put your money under the mattress or in the bank or bury it in the backyard in a mason jar or whatever, you know. But there's no sense killing yourself with stress, you know, to try to, you know, make some extra money if it's not, you know, something you can manage as far as stress or, you know, anxiety or whatever you have. But so just keep that in mind. But check out the website, you know, see if it's for you. If it's not, no hard feelings, you know. If nothing else, check out my free videos. Might learn something that could save you at least making a bad mistake down the road somewhere. And so I'll cut it short on this one, and we'll catch y'all on the next one. Hey, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you don't mind. That helps YouTube algorithm to show this to more people that might be looking for this kind of advice. So we appreciate your help. Catch y'all later.